So guys, this is a breaking news. Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, and others have all been released by Kuje Magistrate Court. Finally, the court has showed the police that they were not supposed to be arrested at the first instance. The only problem here is that possibly they may have paid for them to have been bailed. That tells you that politicians just want to silence Nigerians from airing their view. They don't want anything like protest anymore in this country. Anyway, take a look at Sowore's reaction as immediately they were released from prison. Take a look.
They tried everything they can to break us, but they can't break us. They cannot break us. We are unbreakable. We are unbreakable. Justice. We are unstoppable. And majority of self-recognition. Power.
What is the allegation against Sowore? They are saying that Sowore participated or led protests in certain public places in Abuja, which according to them, the police had gotten an order of court preventing protests for the release of Nnamdi Kanu from holding in those places. The said places include the villa or anywhere close to the villa, the Eagle Square, Shegu Shagari Way, the Court of Appeal, the National Assembly, and a few other places, and the force headquarters. Now, what is the crime that has been committed? Assuming without conceding, because at this time we are not even considering that the protest took place in all those places. I, for example, am not aware, you can correct me, that people went to the villa to protest. I am not aware that Sowore was at the National Assembly to protest. I am also not aware that Sowore went to the Court of Appeal to protest, or any other person who has been arrested in connection with this protest. So, pending when the police is able to tell us where exactly these restricted places are, that people actually defied the order of the court and protested, we will still have to give them the benefit of doubt. But assuming the protest actually took place in those places, has any crime been committed? My answer is no, because in a worst case scenario, they will be talking about contempt of court. They can say they are in contempt. But I submit to you that as of this morning, I say on my honor that I have not seen any indication that either Sowore or any other protester is in contempt of court. I have read a copy of the order parroted by the police, made, by the, I use the word parroted advisedly, because in the order by the Honorable Justice G.M. Umar of the Federal High Court Abuja, my Lord essentially made about 4 orders. In the first order, the judge restricted protesters from certain places. In the second order, the judge circumscribed the time within which the defendants are supposed to respond to the suit filed by the police. He had breached the time. That is, he limited the time that they are supposed to respond to 9 a.m. on Monday, the 20th. The third order made, interestingly, I want you to take note of this. I have the order here in my cell phone. I can even read it out to you. The third order of the learned judge is very interesting. It says, the order of this court, together with the motion on notice, be served on the respondents today, Friday, the 17th of October, 2025. The vote is case adjourned to 20th October, 2025. This is the order of the court. I am willing to provide this to you for you to see it. What does this mean? What this simply means is that when the learned judge made this order, the judge knew that by law, an order of court is binding on a party or a person if certain preconditions are met. Number one, the person that the order seeks to bind must be a party to that action. Secondly, the order must be served on that person. So the judge was not mistaken when my Lord ordered that the order be served on the police. As I am having this interview this morning with you, today, the 24th day of October, neither Sowore nor any other protester was served by the police with this order either on the 17th of October, Friday, as ordered by the learned judge, or even as at this moment. So technically, they cannot say that Sowore has breached an order that has not been served on him. But assuming that the order was even served.
So Mr. Effiong, the arrest of Mr. Sowore and others is an exercise in illegality by implication of what you have read and explained to us now. Am I correct?
It is not only illegality. It is an act of executive recklessness, because they are saying, and don't forget that the basis upon which this said order was made is the application filed based on the deposition of the police. The police went to court through their counsel. That is, the police submitted itself to the jurisdiction of the court, got an order which they have not fulfilled. If anyone is in contempt of the order of the Federal High Court, it is the Inspector General of Police and the Nigerian Police Board that is in contempt.
All right. Let's assume that this order was served on any of the protesting parties now. Mr. Hundeyi has led us to believe that the other arrested members of the protesting team explained that it was Mr. Sowore that led them to protest in those areas restricted by the court, and that explains why they had to arrest him. Are you suggesting that, by your explanation now, that Mr. Hundeyi was lying? Because you have said that you don't have it, you don't know for sure that they approached or infringed on the court order, that they didn't approach any of these areas, the court, the Supreme Court, the Aso Villa, the police headquarters, National Assembly. So is Mr. Hundeyi lying?
I think I will not say lying. He's still my friend. I will say that he's entirely mistaken. He's misguided. Mr. Benjamin Hundeyi is only speaking to please his bosses. He knows that what he's saying is not the correct position. Now, when those individuals say Sowore led them in a protest, is that a crime in Nigeria to protest or to lead people in protest? And I needed to address a point, because I don't want Nigerians to just trivialize this issue. I have seen the first information reports that the police has filed. Let me show you how embarrassing this whole drama is. Guess what? In the charge that they have filed against the other individuals, which I believe is the same charge they are going to file against Sowore, or the first information report, you know what they are alleging? They are alleging that they have violated Section 152 of the Penal Code. What does Section 152 of the Penal Code provide for? Disobedience of order duly promulgated by public servants. If I could just quickly read what it says to you. Whoever knowing that by an order promulgated by a public servant legally empowered to promulgate such order, he is directed to abstain from certain acts or take certain action with respect to certain property in possession or under his management. This law they claim they have violated is if you flout an order made by a public servant, and you don't only flout it, you knowingly flout it in respect of certain property. This law, the disobedience the police is alleging in court, is in respect of property, whether it is a house or a vehicle or some other chattel. So when they say that they are taking a case to court, this is just a clear abuse of the legal system. The law under which they are claiming these individuals have violated, including Sowore, has no correlation, no connection with what actually took place, which is the protest. I don't understand what they are saying. It simply doesn't make any sense to me.
All right, Mr. Nibe, let's further unpack a few things. I've seen the court order, as you've promised to do so. I see that the Honorable Judge did not stop the protest. What the Honorable Judge did was to restrict, as expected, as maybe the police puts it to them to, as the brief the police sent to maybe the relief police sought from the court, said, the respondents are hereby restrained in the interim from protesting in the following areas. They listed Aso Rock Villa, anywhere close to the Villa, the National Assembly, the Force Headquarters, Court of Appeal, Eagle Square, and Sheikh Shagari Way, pending the hearing of the motion on notice. So First, I can see here that protest was not stopped by the court, but areas were restricted where protests could occur. On the other hand, of course, it's an ex parte, but let's talk about the law here and what is the premise. So I can also see here that the third order said the order of this court, together with a motion on notice, be served on the respondent today, Friday, October the 17th, which was that day. So now you're saying that, or you're claiming that the order was not served as instructed by the court. What happens in law if an order was to, if this was to be served on the respondent and they were not served? Does it stop them from carrying out their protest?
Excellent question. But let me quickly inform Nigerians. The places that I know verifiable, and you had correspondents who covered this protest, that this protest actually took place, are Utako, Apo Mechanic, Gudu Junction. I think some persons went to Transcorp. But these are the places identifiable that this protest actually took place. I am not aware that the Eagle Square is in Utako, that Court of Appeal is at Utako, that the Unity, the other places listed in the order are either in Utako, Apo Mechanic, or Gudu Junction. Or even those who went to Transcorp. I'm not aware, right, that any of these places. You can look at the order. You have the order before you. Transcorp was not listed. Look at it. You have the order.
So, Inibe, where were they?
I'm saying that.
My apologies. In addition to your response, the people that the police arrested, I'm sure when people are arrested and they are entering their document, it will be stated where they were arrested. Have you been able to see that as well? Because the claim of the police, which you have rightly put and which this order is saying they were restricted, is that these persons went to protest in areas that the court has said, don't go near those places. Do your protest anywhere else, but not here. The police say, we've arrested certain persons who went to these places, and they are all mentioning Sowore that led them. So, for fairness, they had to bring in Sowore. So, did they arrest these persons anywhere apart from these places?
When it comes to the Nigeria Police Force, and I say this with all sense of responsibility, and filing charges in court, the police lies for a living. I have seen this case after case. I can give you litany of cases, including the ones I have been involved with, where police will make averments in court that are completely false. Perjury has become part of the Nigeria police. So if they are going to file a charge on a false information report to say, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You covered the protest. China CV covered the protest. Did you see Sowore at the villa? Did you see Sowore at the Court of Appeal? Did you see Sowore at the Eagle Square? But assuming that they even protested at those places, which is a question you asked previously, can they be prosecuted? The answer is no. Because the procedure in law for punishing contempt is clear. And this contempt, they are alleging, arises from a civil action filed by the same police. If a party disobeys an order of court, the only authority, the only institution that has jurisdiction to inquire into the allegation of that disobedience is the court that makes that order. How do you do that? You simply file a motion before the court to commit that person to prison. So what the police has done, assuming without considering that the protest actually took place in those places, is resorting to serve help. The judge who made this order has not been informed that his own order has been violated. The police has not taken the steps required by law for the enforcement of that order. So for you to file a charge based on section 152 of the Penal Code that is in respect of property, if a property is in your possession or in the possession of another person, and the court says don't enter that property or hand over that property and disobey, and you disobey that order, then you can be prosecuted. To bring a charge under a section of the law that has no connection with what we are dealing with, it is a sign of executive recklessness. I would have said illiteracy. The police has a retinue of lawyers. I mean, look at the number of lawyers from the police that were just called to the bar. The IGP received them. Is this not an embarrassment to those colleagues of mine? Looking at, listening, watching how the police, the institution that they are part of, is embarrassing our country, is jeopardizing the legal system, and making mockery of everything. So, number one, I want to place on record, I am not aware that the order was violated, and I have challenged you. Show me evidence that this order was actually violated. Number two, we cannot even speak about violation because the condition precedent to the applicability and enforcement of that order, which the court acknowledged in number 3, which you have read, is that that order must be served on the respondents on the 17th of October. They did not serve that order. That order was not effective. That order cannot be said to have been violated. And assuming they even served, I have shown you, I have explained to you, that the correct approach in law is to go back to the judge that made the order.
All right. Mr. Effiong, as we wind down now, the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, has been speaking on the participation of Mr. Aloy Ejimakor in the protest. I'm quoting from his verified Twitter handle now, X handle. He said, as a lawyer, you should be aware of the principle of sub judice, particularly in relation to the ongoing treason case before the court. The prosecution has concluded its case, and it's now incumbent on Mr. Ejimakor and the other lawyers to mount a strong defense for Kanu. He said, rather than focus on preparing a strong case, Mr. Ejimakor has resorted to extra legal tactics, joining a career anarchist to influence the process. Was it wrong for Mr. Ejimakor to participate in the protest?
What was he protesting? That is the first question. You know, in this country, we sometimes listen to some of these public officers and we cannot but be amused. When Mr. Onanuga made that comment, did he tell you what Mr. Ejimakor was protesting against? Was he protesting against the judge? The answer is no. Was he protesting against the witnesses listed that testified against Kanu? The answer is no. Was he even protesting, right, against the trial of Kanu? Can you show me one video where Mr. Ejimakor made a comment prejudicial to the trial? There is no provision. And I want a lawyer in Nigeria to come and contradict me. Because I listen to some of my colleagues, including some senior advocates of Nigeria, quite sadly, come on television to mislead Nigerians. I am putting it on record this morning that there is no law, there is no provision of the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners 2025 that prohibits a lawyer that is involved in litigation from commenting on that litigation, from commenting on that suit. What our rules of conduct, rules of ethics, prevents is making comments prejudicial to the case. That is comment that tends to preempt the outcome or that tends to basically take over the conduct of the case. So assuming that Mr. Aloy Ejimakor had, during the protest, granted an interview and said, for example, oh, this judge that is trying Nnamdi Kanu, I can put it to you, is biased. This judge has been compromised. The witnesses, we are going to deal with them. The witnesses are not credible. The exhibit that was tendered was fabricated. If he had made those comments along those lines, one can maybe suggest that he had made comments prejudicial to the trial. That is why when you see serious cases take place, right, cases of public interest after the hearing, you will see the media. You have judicial correspondence. Go to the Federal High Court this morning after you are done interviewing me. Go and you see lawyers that have concluded cases of public interest. They address the media. It is not strange. It is not a violation of the law. It is what you say that matters. But let us even take the conversation further. Are you saying that because the legal practitioner is right to freedom of expression under Section 39 is extinguished? Are you saying that he has no right to express himself, to articulate his position as a Nigerian because he's a counsel on record to Nnamdi Kanu? I think what we are seeing is a further shrinking of the civic space. Let me I don't know how much time I have, but let me, in rounding up, make this point. Recently, the media has been awash, right, by this quite sad news, unfortunate news, that some soldiers have been arrested for allegedly planning to stage a coup. I believe you have seen those reports. The question is, we don't want a coup in Nigeria. The point is that we don't want any coup in Nigeria. I'm totally against it. But can you say today that the Tinubu regime, the Tinubu government has not waged a coup against the constitution of our country? That can you tell me this morning that there is no coup against the democracy in this country? Because the moment you begin to say people cannot protest in the villa, people cannot protest in the Eagle Square, people cannot protest Sheku Shagari Way, do you want Nigerians in Abuja to go to Sambisa Forest to protest? Do you want people to go to the forest to protest?
All right.
This is a clear indication that this government has no respect for the rule of law. Look at the No Kings protests in US. Millions of Americans took over a lot of places in the US. Go to the White House today, you can find Americans protesting. Go to number 10 in London, you can find people in UK protesting in front of the Prime Minister's residence. What is sacred about the villa that Nigerians cannot protest? What is sacred about the National Assembly? If I cannot go to the National Assembly to protest, where am I supposed to protest? This Tinubu presidency, here is a president who took part in protest. Here are people in power, the APC, that came to power based on protest. Today, they are criminalizing protests, they are stigmatizing those who are holding placards, while the state government is romancing bandits that is using AK-47 to kill Nigerians, giving amnesty to criminals while attacking people that are holding a placard. This is not how to build a democracy. You cannot say you want a democracy, you don't want a coup, and at the same time, you are attacking the legitimate right of Nigerians to protest. Let the government be serious. Let us stop this weaponization of the legal system, trivialization of the rule of law, making a mockery of the judicial system. Enough is enough. Nigerians must be respected. The rest of Nigerians to express themselves is sacrosanct. And we are not going to relinquish on those rights.
Indeed, Mr. Effiong, critical issues that you have raised that should form the guardrails of our democracy. And this is where we aptly anchor this segment. And thank you very much for coming on the program. Mr. Enibe Effiong is a human rights activist and a lawyer. Thank you for coming through on this segment.
Thank you. Thank you for...
Since when I done the C case, I never see case will be like this Nnamdi Kanu case, honestly. Because just imagine Abubakar Malami, he was the AGF during the time where they sent Nnamdi Kanu come back to Nigeria. He was the Attorney General. That time they tell and say, you have to release him now in the country. This is an extraordinary rendition. The man did you say, no, we have to try him. You must send him to prison. Time don't turn. I know say I hear say Malamida and I is among the opposition in ADC, where they want to overthrow government of Tinubu. Just imagine say Nnamdi Kanu, I see Nnamdi Kanu call him, say, make you come be witness for him. Your enemy, person who want persecute you, that you call talk, say make you come be witness to you. Just imagine saying now the Kanu they ask Malami how he take career come from all the way from Kenya down to Nigeria. What could be the reaction? Weekend when we say during your turn and they massacre people for Obi Boya. Now the Kanu got to ask him as a prosecutor, say as he person when they witness or I say, now me send you. I mean send people come massacre people for Obi Boya during that your time. I mean, this is just a complicated issue. This guy, Nnamdi Kanu, is a wise man. I mean, those his counsels, they are very, very wise. Imagine calling your enemy. Babatu, what's this guy name? Current governor of Lagos State. Make you come be a witness, say what happened for NSAS. Say he had no day inside. Say no be him do because people do NSAS. Meanwhile, because if you check for the report, there is a report already about the issues about NSAS. Nnamdi Kanu name was never mentioned. They go call the governor, say, oh yeah, Ogabe, come be. Because if you check the jurisdiction, that one say you the governor don't mean say you don't come be a witness to anybody. They could talk about hope who's of them man. They will come call hope who's of them. All the things where they happen for Imo State, all the pie where they pie. How now they can't hand it can't take the idea. Honestly, this case will be something. I will say they will just televise this case. But they just carry this case called national television. You see, make I tell you, with all of these things now, the release of Nnamdi Kanu is very, very soon. Because they don't want Nigerian government don't want bring themselves to that level. I know when you carry somebody on subpoena, you know what I mean? Subpoena, you know what I mean? You'll be compelled to appear in the courts. They don't want that governor what make you say they invite him as a witness and go say you know go come. That means there is no case. There is no case. Nnamdi Kanu is wiser than these people. Honestly, you hold them for here. And I be the bone we hold Nigerian government. How to release them? They don't know how to release them. You don't go say make it buy them. That be the issue. Okay, we do the case from there. For where? He just want to delay the guy for nothing. It's a big problem. You see, this is not the Kalu case. It's a big problem. And coupled with that fact, say, international organizations don't they look into this whether they Christian from the northern part of Nigeria. If I be Nigeria government, I'll just look for a political solution, release this guy, because the next level where they go now, coupled with the fact saying they don't call all these top men as a witness, the case don't go anywhere.
So guys, there is a breaking news out there that Sowore has been released alongside Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer and other people who were arrested. And he says, breaking, Kuje Magistrate Court grants to Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, others arrested during Abuja protests, grant them bail. They have been granted bail. Kuje Magistrate Court grants bail to Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, others arrested during Abuja protests. So guys, they know that it cannot stand to have stopped somebody's voice just because of protest, Now, this person also posted in this is somebody that said, in 1992, Babangida expelled Sowore from the University of Lagos, UNILAG. 1993, Abacha arrested Sowore. 98, Abdusalami government arrested Sowore at National University Game Association event in Lagos. 2006, Obasanjo and Erufai sued Sowore for interviewing Benga Obasanjo and exposing the third term agenda. 2007, the late Omar Yarodua banned Sahara reporters. 2014, Goodluck Jonathan associated Reno Mokri's attempt to file a lawsuit in the US to bankrupt Sahara reporter, but he could not proceed after receiving a threatening letter as Jonathan lost the election in 2015. In 2017, then the Senate President Bukola Saraki sued Sowore, obtained a questionable judgment from Kwara State High Court and froze Sahara reporters' account for a year. In 2019, Buhari arrested Sowore, charged him with treason. In 2023, Tinubu placed Sowore on the immigration watch list. In 2025, Inspector General of Police Kayode arrested Sowore for cybercrime and seized his international passport. Whether you like him or dislike him, Sowore is a significant force to reckon with. Apart from Fela Kuti, no Nigerian has endured so much at the hands of the government for standing up for what is right as Sowore's copy. So guys, this is it, that Sowore has been released. Now let me take you through some of the reactions. This person say this Sowore is great. He knows our bad politicians inside out. Another person is shameful and pathetic that Sowore has been fighting for since 1992 has worsened. Nigeria will never work, and that what Sowore has been fighting for since 1992 has still not got better. This person say, if you like yen nonsense, I'm not really a fan of Sowore. As today, Sowore has become the voice of the oppressed and downtrodden in the country. Sowore is far better than NLC and other labor bodies put together. We've been through a lot. We can't find DM. This person say only one disciple betrayed Jesus. 2 million Nigerians will betray Sowore. Nigerians are not worth fighting for. This person say, for those who think he's seeking attention, you too try 1 out of 100 of what he has done so you can get attention. Shebi, going to jail, being insulted constantly for 35 years is what you consider attention seeking and plot. Recreate it in your little way and let's see how far. This other person says, stop taking deviances as activism. Someone that doesn't respect constituted authorities and flagrant disobedience of law. Person who takes protesting as a profession, using NGO fundraisers and political jobbing to cash out. NANS, NLC, real activism. Don't reckon with him. He's just a cyber. His mates are useful in the local government, either as chairman, reps, or senate. He's busy arrogantly on the street. He's busy arrogating street powers to himself baselessly. In 2007 again, he will score less than 14 votes in the entire country with his AAC as sole chairman and presidential candidate. So guys, I don't know what you make of reactions. Some people are in support of Sowore, some are not. This one say he stands for nothing right. This one is a Confucianist. Another person says a man said a free Nnamdi Kanu protest on same date with NSAS massacre, a government agent to galvanize Nigerians in the wrong direction. Same with VDM, all pointing Nigeria in the wrong direction, so there will be no reprisal or true protest against bad governance. And another person here say he will learn the hard way from Jagaban. Baba know they talk too much. He will collect. And this other person here said, One thing I'm certain of is that if late President Yaradua could get involved in his arrest or effort to put stop to his agitation or whatever he's calling, then Sowore is likely a problem here. Leave it or leave it. Person way say in go legalize weed. Sowore, you go probably a damn. I don't know. Many people are saying their mind. Let's not sweep aside the efforts of Chief Gani Fawemi of blessed memory when listing those that have fought gallantly for social rights, freedom, and corruption in Nigeria. Sowore learned from Gani. Omoyele Sowore lost his brother in Edo. His mother was also allegedly brutalized during the ordeal. Despite these personal challenges, Sowore remained committed to fighting for Nigeria's progress and development. God will protect Sowore for us. And this person said, I just pity the fool called Sowore. He should go and ask Shoyinka how Igbos under obedient court paid him back. Igbos typically won't spit on the faces of their benefactors. Their loyalty is likeness to you is only temporary as long as it is in their favor. Another person here said the fool Sowore is working for Tinubu said the same about Buhari. So did Sowore work? Okay, the fool saying Sowore is working for Tinubu said the same thing about Buhari. So did Sowore work for all these names since 2092? Una go suffer a long time for Nigeria. Another person here said some of you here are the reasons we still suffer under this government today, because you have been brainwashed not to fight for your right. Instead of supporting whoever is doing it in his little way, you are still complaining he doesn't fight a good fight. But be like something they wrong with you for head. So these are some of the reactions from Nigeria. Some of them are in support of Sowore's fight, against injustice in the country. While some people are saying that Sowore is just an agent for Tinubu. So somebody is saying that Sowore was also called agent for Buhari. Now Buhari is no more. How is Sowore now an agent for Tinubu? Anyway, guys, I don't know what you make of all this in the comment section below. Drop your thoughts there. Sowore has been released alongside other protesters who were taken in by the Nigerian police, as they went out to protest demanding for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. Let me know your reaction to all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.